What's up, guys? Welcome to the podcast. I know it's been a long time, actually, since we've done one of these. So I've decided to bring it on Fridays if we can. Maybe I'll talk to Will. We might bring it back on Saturdays later on in the night when we get back from Expos, depending on where we are at. So I got MC Will.
What's up, guys?
With the cornrows. I got Sean. And I got one and only special guest, Paul. What's up, Paul?
Yo, what's up, fellas?
Doing good. Yeah, Paul's filling in. Just that Jesse couldn't make it either. He had some stuff come up. It happens.
Sorry, guys. I'm sorry to disappoint.
No, you're good. How's your voting for the 15 minutes of lame going?
Oh, it's fucking crazy. It's crazy, man.
How do you vote for that?
So you go on the website. It's snakesandafatman.com/15 minutes.
Okay.
And then there's a bunch of people's faces, and you just pick whoever it is at that point. That's only like 25% of
right.
I saw Steven's video on it. So
yeah.
Dude, some of those videos.
Hey, sorry, Paul. I've been voting for my boy Justin at Stone Age, man.
I get it. That's all right, man. But why waste votes now? He's not catching up.
Damn. Take the point.
It's like neck and neck with me and Troy right now at 24.
Yeah, I saw that. I just see that the other day.
Justin, I mean, me and him talk. We've been talking, and we're supposed to do a collab, but I'm not sure what's going on. But he has 474,000 followers on one of his freaking channels.
Damn.
Why can't he have that? Send that out. And I was wondering. I'm like, I thought he was going to be like one of the hardest ones to go against because of that.
Yeah. If people don't vote, they don't vote. You know what I mean?
It's a constant reminders every day.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
I send out reminders every day, and I'm outside when I go to work, and I'm grabbing people's phones and going, give me this every day.
So now we know Paul's true secret. He's a cheater.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Paul likes to cheat. We know Paul's real secret. All those votes are from him grabbing people's phones.
Right? That's what I was thinking. That's cheating.
That's
man. See, I told you, man. My boy Justin
that's the
got
secret.
robbed.
Yo, well, I mean, I so Troy went to the reptile shows, and he's making people vote at his table.
No.
Yeah, it's not what you call it. Come on now, everybody that's coming across there. It's not everybody that's in the snake industry.
You got another vote, so
there you go.
Yes. Thank you.
That's funny. So how's your guys' season going? Anything new? Anything disappointing we find out yet? Anything exciting that's going to be happening here?
Anyway,
Paul, what's your secrets?
I listen, buddy.
What's your secret?
I got no secrets. Nothing coming out of these tubs. No gorillas or anything.
I don't know what you're talking about. Not here.
No gorillas, huh?
Not here. No, everyone knows it's here.
Yeah, I know.
I made a whole video about it. I mean, it's hard not to. I mean, I want to get people excited about it.
I told you that story, right? So with Antoine at Tinley. So we were walking around, and so me and Charlie walked up to Antoine, and I think it was maybe like after you came up to me and said, "Hey, you want to see something?"
Yeah.
And so we walked up to Antoine, and Charlie's like, "Hey, you got the gorilla for me?" The guy literally started bagging the snake because there was somebody else that was supposed to be picking it up.
Oh, really?
And he almost gave it to Charlie. And
Damn.
I'm like, Charlie, I'm like, wait.
I got mine right away. Like me and Will, I'm like, Will, we gotta go get the gorilla right now.
Right,
like we're
right to
there.
it.
Like we're going right now.
Yeah. So he's definitely a good guy.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure. Well, I think I'm hoping the only thing that I have going this year, really, I'm hoping for, like, I'm really pushing. I'm hoping that Zebra goes this year.
She's looking.
I mean,
good.
how many? It's been over 2 years, right?
She's breeding right now. She has multiple locks on them.
Okay,
She's
So
looking big.
she's looking big.
right.
So the whole story, I'm sure, as you guys know too, is that I became a retailer for the Gopher Coco.
Just seen that.
Right. So the whole story with that was, so when I first started breeding,
Beat me
okay,
to it.
I was using Freedom Breeder stuff. Okay, I didn't end up liking it because it changed my water red. Just I wasn't a big fan of it. So then I switched over to ReptiChip. Okay. Well, when I was on ReptiChip, my one boy actually, his face really started to swell, at that time, and I didn't really think anything of it at all. So got him on antibiotics and stuff like that, and took him to the vet, and it went away, for the most part, because at that same point in time, I was switching back the chipper blocks. Okay, so it went away. Well, I didn't end up really liking the chipper box too much because one, he never really had it, and two, like the chips itself were just kind of too big and stuff. Like it's kind of like ReptiChip, but it wasn't. It was less dusty, but not as dusty. And so I went back to ReptiChip because I don't know. I was like, why not? And then all of a sudden, and then the Zebra got it. I'm like, oh hell no. So the Zebra's whole face, like her whole side right here, was like, and what ended up being was the dust was getting in their vents and stuff like that, and it was causing that. And they were nowhere near each other in the rack, and none of the other snakes have this, so it's not contagious or anything like that. So the only thing I could think of was that it was the dust was irritating some of the snakes and stuff like that, and it was causing them to get this infection. And so I switched over to Gopher Coco because Will got some first.
That
And he's
shit
like,
is-
he was like, you gotta try this. It's so much better. And so I'm like, no, it can't be that much better, dude. And it is.
it is the best stuff out there.
Yeah, 100%. It is. I tried it.
It's a little more expensive, but
Yeah, it's a little bit
you
more
don't have all that
expensive.
dust. And you don't have
This is Billy's brand.
Correct.
You don't have as nowhere near as much of this type of stuff
Mhm.
in it.
Okay.
That's actually that stuff right there is Pro Coco because I
All right.
I had a whole bunch of Pro Coco and I ran out of the one
What's
box
up, Will?
bag I got of the not the Repti, but the Gopher Coco. I got to
Yeah,
get some.
so like when I switched and stuff like that, I'm like, man, I love this stuff, and I just was like, well, here we go. Let's just try to distribute this and stuff like that. So right now it's too expensive to ship it. So I'm not gonna be able to ship it yet. Like that's really pricey. So we're just gonna try to push it at expos and stuff for now.
Mhm.
No. Gopher Coco's the way to go.
Gopher Coco's the way.
No,
to
y'all
go.
got your numbers wrong, man. You need a 2.
No,
Go.
4.
There we go.
4 is better than 2.
So who's that? Who's the Zach?
Four is
Who's
better
the
than
Zach now?
two.
Who's
I
what?
love that
Is
stuff, man.
Is that hold on? So that's the same. Hold on, same thing, right?
No.
No.
So you're Billy's, and who's that? Davenport.
Davenport, yes, sir.
Okay.
Weren't you using that stuff, Will?
Dude, I started using
That
shit
Coco
for-
to go or whatever. Weren't you using that off of Charles?
No, that's Pro Coco.
Oh, was
When
it?
I first started, I was
Oh.
using the shit that
Ooh.
Matt from Olympus, it had Brian Barczyk's face on it. It was just fiber.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
It does hold the moisture and the humidity in there better than anything, but it's just you don't want to use it because it can compact. If they get it in them, it'll compact up inside of them.
Right.
It's super fine. It's more. It would be perfect for like a gecko setup, like a bioactive gecko. You put that in some chunks, and it'd be real good for that because it keeps the moisture real well. Like when you put water in it and you can squeeze it together, it looks like when you do vermiculite for your hatchling tubs, or
Right.
It'll clump like that. So it's not good for tubs. It'd be good. It's good for like geckos and stuff.
And I have noticed too that because I did do an experiment that the Gopher Coco actually holds humidity way better.
Yes.
It's insane how different it is. 'Cause I can go Like, I was wetting every day and stuff like that with the Repti chip. It'd be dry in a day and a half or so after re-wetting it. And that's running a humidifier in the snake room. The Gopher Coco will stay wet for like 4 days.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Like Billy always says, you got to try it because
Yeah, you gotta try it. You gotta always try it.
I was like, there's no way that this is worth like $5 to $6 more a bag than the Pro Coco or the Repti Chip or any of the more common ones. It definitely is.
It definitely is.
It definitely is. I'm upset that I don't have any more of it.
Right. Gopher Coco holds it too well in PVC racks though, but it is great shit. And yes, it is. It's 100% outstanding. I said I will fully support it. Now, I will be doing a comparison video. I think when we're going to an expo tomorrow over in Kalamazoo, so we'll be there tomorrow. And unfortunately, I'm going to go waste some money on some Repti chip just to do this comparison video.
Hey,
I don't want to waste my money on this stuff, but
This is a PVC enclosure, and I don't have an issue with Gopher
Look.
Coco in it.
if you haven't tried this yet, Glenn, I will give you one when we come out to Ohio.
oh yeah, don't
Yeah,
want
you
it.
gotta try it.
Don't want it. Don't
Hey,
have it.
I'll take it.
I'll take Coco.
All right.
Give it to Will. I don't want it.
I'll take it. We'll do a side by side.
Yeah, we'll do a side by. Yeah, we'll do a comparison. How about that? We'll add it to the comparison video. We'll do another comparison video with that stuff because I'm gonna go waste my money on some Repti chip tomorrow, which I don't want to, and we're gonna do a video.
If you wait to do it until we get some from him, we can do the Repti Chip, the Pro Coco, and his next.
That's too long. That's it. You're looking at springtime.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying.
I know, but you can do it all at once
Hey,
again.
it's a fair comparison at that point.
It's true. I'm all about
I think you're
comparing.
gonna have to do some comparisons, right?
I will gladly give you a bag of it for you to do your comparison.
For
So
sure.
I'll
For
put my
sure.
name on it. I'll sign that bag for you.
Sign it.
Fine. I'll hang it up in the room.
Right.
Oh, hell yeah. I like that, Will.
Do you guys all use a Husbandry Pro?
No.
No.
I've been using Clutch.
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 Well,
Yeah, I've been
I
using
use
Clutch.
both, but I use both because I get it free because I'm on Bill Hayden's Patreon.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why I
Once
use it.
Done.
I like-
It's good. It
I-
does everything I need.
Right. I like the Clutch because it's simple to use. It's more user friendly for me. And then also they're adding a breeder tab to this too here in the next. It should have been out already, but they're fine
It's
tuning
been out
it.
already, right?
No, it's not out
At the
yet.
end of October.
Who's putting a breeder cap on it?
Clutch is.
Clutch.
Okay.
Clutch.
They have a breeder tab. Where you,
Size and all that. stuff.
yeah, follicle size, all that, just like you can do with Husbandry Pro, and it's really simple. Instead, either or, they're pretty much just for me. It's more Clutch is more user friendly for me. That's why I like it.
Uh-huh.
Because like, you can sit there and the tabs are just easier to use, and that's just preference, really.
Mhm. Yeah,
Hey, Victoria or Victory. Hey, Bill.
I jumped on Husbandry, it seems. I think it's just like I don't want to start it. I guess. I don't,
Right. See, I do like it because you can, like with Husbandry, when I was messing with it, you can sit there and you can put the exact snake of where it's at in your rack. So you can go into that and click it.
You can't do that on Husbandry Pro though.
Yeah, you get the family tree and all that stuff with them.
Okay.
Nice.
Which is cool.
And then if I holding back any of those babies, and then they any of the neonates that if I hold these back, and then I breed them, all their babies will go under them.
That's very cool.
Yeah, so you get to do that family tree and stuff. I think that's really cool.
That's pretty cool.
That is cool. And that's like what?
And
It's gotta
Clutch
be
gives you
better.
the percentage
That's
of
Clutch.
male to female, and the percentage of say pastel in your club.
Yeah.
Yep.
You get the
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Because you get the
Oh.
you get the percentage of the genes that are in your collection. You get the percentage of the males and females ratio, like here, like Will's. Hold up closer so we can see it.
That's what I'm working on.
I get it. I see it.
So you got 58%.
55 and
Females.
45. male to female.
All right.
That's the only reason I would say go to Clutch. It's easy. It's easier to use on your phone than Husbandry Pro is.
Okay.
Yeah, but
And
even
once
Billy
they
said
get all the
himself,
stuff
it
in
wasn't
it,
made for an app.
once they get like this breeder tab in, it's Clutch is designed for ball pythons and ball pythons only.
Right.
Husbandry Pro is designed for whatever you want to put into it. You can create any type of field you want. Like Billy said, he's got people that catalog car parts in it. So there's a lot of stuff in there that doesn't pertain to the field that we're in, where Clutch is specifically for ball python.
Yep.
Right.
It makes it easier because, like, like here I got 59, the percentage, 61%.
That looks more user friendly to me too.
Yeah, it's way user friendly. I like it. When I start using it, it's easier. It's easier to use to upload your photos on your phone, and then go back into the laptop and redo everything a little bit, like fine tune it, because it's easier to navigate. But I mean, like, that's probably the only really downfall about it. But I love it. I like it. I think it's cool.
All right.
Once I figure out what kind of labels Justin uses for his QR codes, I'll have switched all of these out for those.
Okay. You can print labels off of Clutch too as well.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. I just haven't figured out
all
what actual label. Where Husbandry Pro tells you Avery whatever, Clutch doesn't. I think they said it's like a 2x4.
Okay.
I think that's what they said, or something like. I don't remember what it was.
All right.
I want to put in a ticket and see, to ask them what size labels, because I printed them out. I printed out all of mine on just plain paper at first to see.
Right.
And on a normal like printer paper, it came out with like 1-inch margins on either side, and everything was super small.
He's got to figure out the thing on
So
it.
I just got to figure that out. Once I get that out, then I'll switch all of these labels over to the Clutch stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll wait till he figures that out. Like, hey, how'd you do that? Like, tell me.
That makes it a lot easier when you can go and scan it. It brings up that snake specifically.
Yeah.
So if you got to go
I
in
get
and do
that.
something, it works great with Husbandry Pro too. That's why I did it.
Right.
So
But Husbandry Pro, you can go in and make your own label.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you can fit it to whatever label you want to buy
Right.
as well. Where there's not a tab for that in Clutch.
Okay.
Yeah, he could tell you more about that because he's used Husbandry more than I have. So he'd be the one to ask you about comparisons and stuff with that.
Like I said, once they get this breeder tab and I can figure out what size labels they use, I won't be using Husbandry Pro. I'll be all on Clutch.
Right. So we're going to discuss a topic that me and Will just found out here not too long ago. We're going to talk about the LLC stuff, if you're an LLC compared to not LLC. So a lot of people with this and stuff kind of neglect sales tax with this, okay? So technically, if you're, depending on what state you're in, which is all of them, if you should be charging sales tax when you make a sale. That's in every
Minus like 2. There's 2 states that don't require sales
Yeah,
tax.
there's 2 states that do not require this. Even if you're not an LLC, you should still be charging sales tax and claiming it and having to pay for it.
You just can't get audited if you're not.
Right. And LLC, if you're not doing this, if you're not doing your sales tax, you can get busted and audited and hit hard on it. Okay.
You'll have to pay all the back taxes.
You're going to
plus
pay all the back taxes on it and stuff like that. Okay. So with me being a distributor and stuff like that, with Go for Cuckoo, I had to really freaking dig into the walls and stuff with this to make sure, and me, especially dealing with customs now and stuff too. I had to be on my P's and Q's with this. So I think we did like 2-3 days of just nonstop phone calling and stuff like that this week and stuff and figuring the walls out.
I called like 3 different states.
Yes.
Treasury, or not Treasury, but what the hell was it?
Just the government part of it, like
Whoever deals the
Right.
auditor's offices, or whatever it was, just to get clarification on, like, Sean, you're coming to Ohio.
Yeah.
You don't need to get a vendor's license, an out-of-state vendor's license, unless you
I don't
spend.
think so.
no, you
You
don't.
don't.
Unless
You
you're
don't.
unless
This is
you're
what I'm
doing-
telling you.
Yeah, unless you're doing over $100,000 in sales or 200 transactions in Ohio is when you will need a license. That's for
in
most
the calendar year.
Yeah,
A
that's for
rolling
most
calendar.
of your states.
Yeah,
That
most
is
of
for
the
most
states
of
are
your
that. Some of them don't have the transaction limits. They're just 100,000. So if you're going from state to state, as long as you don't spend, as long as you don't sell over $100,000 in a year in that state,
You're
you
good.
don't need a vendor's license.
But if you go sell out of state, you have to charge their sales tax in that state or county, depending on how they do it. So if you go to, say, Cincinnati or whatever like that, you have to charge a 7.8% sales tax that's within that county. You go to a different county in Ohio, their sales tax is different.
So I've had to print out a list of what all the different sales taxes is for all the different counties in Ohio, and there's like 46, 48 of them.
Now here's the kicker. Now here's the kicker for it. So even if, like I said, again, if you're not LLC, you still technically by law, have to do this. Okay. The kicker with being an LLC is you turn around, you write off that sales tax federally, so you get it back.
Yep.
That's the kicker. And freaking Sean knows all about it. He's like, yup. And that's the advantage of being an LLC, you guys.
Everything's a write-off.
Everything's a write-off.
Everything's
a write-off. So I've had, a couple people ask me, so when should I LLC? Well, I'm going to tell you, you need to LLC yourself ASAP. I don't want to show losses on a business. Yes, you do because you're going to end up getting more money back, and you can sit there and take that money that you get back from the government and reinvest it into your business, so you can grow twice as fast.
I just wish I'd have known that before, because I could have wrote that off.
Here's something I learned, because I've come from a trucking background. I had my own rig for a while. David too had his own rig, and man, I'm telling you, being able to write stuff off now, it's great. But if you take too much of a loss and you weren't working like a 9 to 5, and trucking was like you had a guy in the truck and he was making you money, you're just going to take a loss, and the government's going to be like, well, you were negative 70,000 this year. We're going to carry it over to next year too.
Right.
So you don't get no return. Don't get it twisted. There's no return unless you're doing something where they're taking taxes out, or you're paying your taxes on yourself personally for each quarter.
And that's where
your state does it.
Right. And that's where most of us are on W-2s as well, because we don't do this full time. So normally it just comes off of your W-2 and you're good. But once you start getting into the full-time part of it, like you should be making a profit anyhow, that's not an issue.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to be on a W-2 even when I go full-time.
Yeah, because people will be like, well, I want to make a profit or show a profit before I do an LLC. Well, by then you're already fucked, because in all honesty, you're paying in taxes at that point.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you technically
there's a lot of things you can get away with as a hobbyist, because we did a lot of research. We probably could have got away with being a hobbyist because we're not doing anything big like that. But we just figured the LLC would be the safer, better move.
Well,
and you could get away with a lot as a hobbyist.
So you just went straight to LLC. You didn't do like to be a sole first.
Nope, I went straight LLC right off the rip, dude. I made my first logo, and boom, I was an LLC, dude. I went right off the rip, because so here's what ends up happening. So year one, you're investing, okay? You can sit there, you can depreciate your snakes, your breeders, and stuff like that. So if you take a snake, if you go buy a snake, say for $5,000, we'll just make it easy. You can depreciate that for 5 years, which is $1,000 a year, okay? So by the time that snake's breeding in year 3, say, or whatever, okay, and you're making money off that snake, you still have those write-offs from years 3, 4, and 5 that are kicking into effect, where you can keep that money and you're not paying taxes on it, because you still have those losses from when you bought that snake. Now you can technically write it all off, but that's a stupid way of doing it, because you're not freaking pretty much like, spreading out your losses over years and stuff, so it doesn't look as bad, and you're also keeping more money. So like years 1, 2, and 3 are critical, because that's what you're putting all your money in to your business and stuff like that, or hobbyist, whatever you want to call it.
I mean, that even goes as you up it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like I said, years 1, 2, and 3, you're claiming those losses. Then hopefully, if you're doing it right, years 4 and 5, you should be pretty much about even or pretty freaking close. I think years 5 and 6, if you're really killing it, you should be making a profit then. But see, then you're making that profit, and now you're getting those write-offs from years 1 through 5 or whatever the case may be, and that's coming off of your profit, and that's less taxes you have to pay. So the problem is people that want to sit there and go be an LLC on like when they're making a profit, you're literally now you're just paying into taxes. You have no advantage of an LLC pretty much. I mean, you can backlog it. You can go back if you still have all your receipts and stuff like that, but it's easier to do it year 1.
So I know a few people that do sole first, and then at their third year of that you're going to show, then they open up an LLC. Then you have another 5 years of show loss.
Right. So I figured, especially like with the Go for Coco and stuff now too, because I did that. I would be a retailer and stuff like that. That's going to help easing those losses and stuff like that, where I'm showing more sales and stuff like that.
Right.
As long as you're showing sales and a good amount of sales, you're good. You know what I mean? Like they're not going to question too much. But like hey, it just hasn't got to that point yet. But give it another year or two, and I'm going to be owing you fucking money.
Right. Well, how long have you? When did you open up your LLC?
Year 1.
And you're
3 years ago.
I'm in year 3.
3.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm in year 3. I'll be going on year 4 at the start of this year.
So you could still show your losses until what, year 5?
Probably, yeah. But I'm also, it's different though too. I'm also on a W-2. So with being on a W-2, so like whatever I make at the factory and whatever I write off and my depreciations and stuff like that comes out of my gross income from my W-2. So we'll just say that you made $20,000, but you spend $10,000 in your business. Technically, you only made $10,000 that year.
Mm-hmm.
That's how that works.
All right.
You know what I mean? So that's just some tips and tricks, you guys. And what you end up doing is you figure out what your regular federal income tax or your taxes in general were before you started your LLC. You keep that money that you earned. So say that you get $1,000 back every year before you did this LLC. Okay, well now all of a sudden, freaking, you're claiming these losses and stuff. It would just say that you get $3,000 back. Okay. So you keep $1,000 for yourself, and you take the other $2,000 that's not yours. That's the business money. You invest it back into the business. You don't keep it. That's how you grow a business, you guys.
Yep.
That's pretty much the gist of it and stuff.
Right.
I guess that's a simple way to do it. So I hope that helps some of you guys that have been questioning that or have thought about it. But that is the legal kind of. I'm not an accountant. So, I'm not legal responsible for your decisions as well. But
me neither.
When did they drop the new rules and all that stuff for LLC? I thought there's more stuff to it too. I thought I can't remember what I've also heard about LLC, but I heard there's I think there's some.
You can write so when I go to an expo, I can write off my table expense. I can write off.
So you can write off your miles.
You can write off your miles, your gas.
You have to track your miles to be able to do that.
One or the other.
Yeah. It's one or the other.
One or the other what?
Oh, it's a year do gas or miles.
Oh, I got you.
Okay, I was going to do gas. I wasn't tracking my miles anyhow. I was doing my gas.
It's a 60 cents. Is it 60 cents per mile?
I don't know what it is. I just know I've been doing my gas and stuff.
So
I don't even waste my time.
I would actually write miles. I wouldn't do gas.
Yeah.
No.
Miles add up quick.
Yeah.
They do.
I mean, you're going to get rats. Those are miles.
Anything that's business. I mean, technically, you're right. I mean, if you go get rats and stuff, I mean, you got to put gas in your car. I mean, technically, it's a business.
And you imagine people that go 3 hours to get rats. I mean, I know people that drive 3 hours to get rats.
Don't do that. Hit us up. We've got rats.
We got rats. Will's gonna have rats too.
Yeah. So
I don't know. You out in Redding, California? No. Yeah.
I just built a 12 by 16 barn in my backyard for nothing but rats.
Right. Yeah.
Because the local guy in town decided to raise his small rat price up to $5.25 because we were buying them all.
I get that.
So I'm gonna put him out of business.
Yeah. I mean, like this kid, Mike, that he talks about. In the summer, it reaches like 120 degrees by him in Redding. I'm like, that's disgusting. Like,
Yeah,
how can you even produce that? Like, I don't think his AC would even pump that much to even keep that down.
Right. That's so much. It's insane.
Right.
Yeah,
You're out there in California?
No, I'm in Long Island, but my friend Mike just reached out to a group in Baker's Patreon and was saying he's saying that he's having a hard time with rats, but he talks about his summer. It's like 120 degrees. I'm like, oh,
it gets brutal out there.
Yeah.
You said you're in Maryland?
No, Long Island.
Oh, Long Island. I was like, that does not sound like a Maryland accent.
No, yeah. No, not from Maryland.
Maryland. Yeah, so I'm waiting. So I'm also waiting to hear from the whole DG thing from Billy too. I'm waiting for him to get that guy on the podcast as well and see what's going on. I know RGI just posted a video like a day ago about the DG stuff, like what they're coming out.
I don't know.
Rob?
Man.
I haven't watched it yet. Billy's guys are saying it's just straight recessive.
Straight recessive.
Yep. That's what they're finding.
Well,
I don't know. So we'll see.
I got an email back for that free stuff, that free testing from RGI.
Yeah.
And mine wasn't on it yet.
No.
We sent out a list. They haven't got to it yet.
How long ago was that when you sent that in?
Fuck, I've already sent one in that paid for and got it back.
Well, yeah, they got to do the paid ones first.
Yeah. Well, hell, I got that one back in like.
I don't know. I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk shit, even though because I'm friends with Charlie and stuff like that. But that seemed like a big fucking scam right there.
Is Charlie's from Grey Rider, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, it was all free.
That's actually who.
No, you're right, but
yeah,
Lucas. I get it. I get what you're saying though. Like I don't know. Like
I'll switch to him.
I want to see what Billy's guys say. I'm interested with that. So I've been tuning into him quite a bit on Mondays, hoping that he pops in. So, and I know
now that I'm laid off.
Yeah. No, Billy isn't coming out with his own genetic testing. He has people in Canada that do it that are separate from RGI. They do it the same way, but they're coming, I guess, from my understanding of it, they're coming up with different results from the DG.
Yeah.
So the people in Canada are saying that is straight recessive for whatever reason. We don't know yet because I haven't heard from them personally. And then Canova's guys, which are RGI and stuff like that, obviously they came out and said it was polygenic. So we don't know yet. We don't know what the whole story is behind this. We're still trying to figure it out.
Have you heard
ball pythons or these freaking geckos?
I mean, have you heard anybody breed DG to DG and not hit DG?
I have not. I'll let you know.
I haven't either.
I'm
not saying that. I'm like, I keep my ears open for it, but
I'll let you know. I can do it next year, but I was going to do it next year because I was going to take the leopard DG hypo to the Enchi chocolate DG hypo, but now that I got the gorilla, I mean, the gorilla is going to do that girl, so I'm not going to do that pairing yet. I got to cash in on it.
Now that's something that you would hear somebody saying. I read.
I've heard it. It's very rare. I did hear one person say that they didn't have a mixed blood.
Did Justin say it? Of course he said it.
I don't know if he has or not.
I don't know.
I haven't heard Justin say it.
I don't think I heard him. I think he knows people that's happened to because there are a couple, like when polygenetic stuff first came out, and then there was breeders that weren't talking about it, and then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, I've had that happen. Look, you know what I mean? That's not something that people would really talk about, especially like the old school guys. You know, like how they're always keeping shit secretive and stuff like that back in the day. So let's see here. I mean, on the list of those they tested at RGI, they had a visual DG that tested negative for all 2 strands.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I saw that. I've seen a bunch of people say that they've had a visual DG test negative and then breed it to a DG and get all visuals.
Right. So like that's the thing, I mean, like I feel that when they came out and did that, that was just to get everybody flowing, and that was an influx of what just happened there?
You're echoing. Echo.
Everybody. Nope, just you two.
It's just Paul. As Paul is doing.
What happened? All right, I'm good now.
Yeah, you're good.
I just lost what I was going to say. But
The
I feel that
influx
was just
of-
a money grab. I think that was just a money
Yeah.
grab situation. I'm not saying that they knew about it, but I don't
I
know.
don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I get what you're saying to an extent because now everyone's like, oh, I want to test my stuff or whatever, to see if it's DGA, DGB, or
Right.
DGC.
And now I got a true DG that's
Right.
now, and people. I mean, that's just to make more money out of it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But that was, like I said, that was one of the ones, But then if that was the case, they wouldn't have done all those free tests though.
Yeah, they would. Why wouldn't they?
Why
Yeah.
wouldn't they?
That's true.
Even drug
It
dealers
starts-
give
it
out
starts
drugs
the
for
pro-
free.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it would start the
We'll test
process.
them.
Yeah,
We'll test them
absolutely.
for
We'll
free.
keep you to come back.
We'll test them for free.
Yep.
Only
Test
so many.
Back.
Yep.
Give me all but it's gonna be $100 each time you test.
Yeah.
Damn.
Hey, that's just legit.
It's only
because
69.
I tested that leopard clown that was 66% het VPI. I thought for sure she was going to prove. She was nice and light, not as dark as the leopard clown. Didn't prove. Well, that saved me 2 years.
But also, were they right?
Wow.
Because
I don't know.
look at the people that have visual DGs that tested negative.
Yeah,
Was it right?
I don't know. That's just one of the things you just don't know. I mean, I was gonna hold her back, but I mean, she'll be one of the ones where if she sells, she sells. If she don't, I'm cool with keeping her.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So I said,
the DG a little bit too. After all that came out, everybody just fucking either started selling. Or,
oh yeah, they got out of it.
Yeah.
Or they
Everybody
were
started
done with
Like,
it.
and everybody's like, just keep it as recessive. Just
Yeah.
treat it as the same as you've been doing.
Keep it as recessive.
Yeah.
That's all I did. I
Yeah.
didn't sell none of my DG stuff. I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna buy into DG if anything. Now prices dropped on them.
Yeah.
And
I
I mean, have you seen some of the prices of Desert Ghost clowns? The males I
Oh,
see
yeah.
for $2,700.
Yeah.
A couple of months ago, they were 10,000 more.
Oh yeah. See, like how stupid would you feel if you bought a $10,000 DG clown and then all of a sudden that information comes out and then everything drops that much?
Yeah,
Like how fucking dumb
Oh.
would you feel? Like, oh, that'd be hard. That'd hurt.
grow
dude.
up.
That
I mean,
would hurt.
you can't really feel dumb because
Right.
did you know that was coming?
Right.
Oh, you're right.
If you knew it was coming and did it, then you would be dumb.
Right. That's true. I mean, that still hurts. You're good, Jess.
Oh yeah, it hurts.
It hurt. It hurt the wallet. That's for sure. I see them at expos and stuff for $5. And then you got those, those regular people that are, $10,000. Like that's not the
Hey.
price anymore.
That's not the price anymore, bro.
Right?
You're-
You gotta
you're
adjust to the market. You hang
Yeah,
out for a while.
and that's it. Seems like everybody's adjusting. I mean, because I keep watching it, like you have to be on top of that. I mean, like because it seems like somebody's just undercutting, and
Yeah,
then next.
Exactly. And I've said that before on here and stuff like that. Like, what's up, bro?
What's up, bro?
I said that before on here and stuff too, dude. Like, we as breeders dictate the price of our freaking shit and our jeans. If you
stop
sit
cutting the
there, if
legs
you
out
don't
from under
undercut
everybody.
anyone, if you want this gene, if everyone sticks to their guns, like we're selling this gene for this much,
Right.
that's what that gene's worth. If no one's undercutting each other.
So I got into that project, the bang project.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. Yep.
So I got into that, and so Sterling Nelson, I guess, was the original creator of
Yes.
it, and he
Yes.
did pretty much everything and every step to figure out, and then obviously a code on. So like he made the super bangs, and that, and then Nathan is also involved in Impossible Pythons, and then Gavin got into it by getting a bunch of snakes from Sterling as well, and and Nathan just released like the super bang clown.
Yeah.
But like talking about the situations of pricing, Ken Masick ended up getting a few snakes from Sterling and wasn't involved in because they wanted to slow roll it out. And Ken started, I'm not saying he was undercutting because I got in from Ken cheaper than Gavin selling him for $20,000 across the pond.
Well, see, what it is Gavin's not allowed to sell in the United States.
I know that. I know
Right.
that. But I could ship mine over there.
That's true. That's a good point. I didn't even think about that.
So like so it's not. I'm not involved. Involved in that at all. But So I had a few people reach out to me and be like, "Yo, I'll give you money, but I'm not giving $25,000 shipping it over. You know,
Right.
baby's over." But I'm
Right.
like, what that whole situation though is now they're trying to tell him, don't sell it for what I mean, I got mine pretty. I mean, I'm not saying pretty good deal, and they want everyone to at least fluctuate and keep it at the same price. So let's try to slow roll it out. I mean, I'll probably be able. My male had just reached about 500 and something grams. My female is a little bit bigger, but I'm not pushing her. Like she'll be ready. You know, whatchamacallit, and then I'm gonna go. You know, but you definitely can dictate the pricing.
Oh yeah,
if everybody's on board.
Exactly, and I said that with the Gorilla Gene and shit like that. I'm like, because like the high demand for it off the rip was so high. I'm like, and it's an incomplete dominant, which is they're proving out the super this year as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, let's be in all honesty, you guys. Like I'm gonna be straight up with it. Like, you know, we control the market of this. Like if we start undercutting each other, like the market's gonna tank. Especially if you sit there and if you give out those males that you make for $5, whatever grand or whatever, they can take that gorilla and hold around the whole collection. They can have gorillas year one.
Right.
Like if you're gonna get a gorilla off me, it's probably gonna be a double head. It's gonna be a girl. Like I'm slowing you down. I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm being honest with you. It's dumb not to.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's dumb not to. Like, it really is. Like because look at what happened to the Stranger Gene. Okay, you could have get in that project for 10, 15 grand, and all of a sudden people are selling all these males, and then the price just freaking tanked because everyone was producing them. It's the same thing. It's gonna be the same thing that happens with the gorilla, whatever. If you start releasing all these males and stuff,
right.
It's just honesty, man. I'm not trying to be a dick about it or anything like that. Like you have to control. It's still at the end of the day, it's still a hot gene, and you still have to control that market.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really matter whether it's hot or not.
You gotta look at
right. You have to control the supply and demand to keep the price up. You have to.
If the economy ain't doing well, man. Like I used to haul RVs, man, and the economy wasn't doing well. Guess what my fat ass was doing? Sitting at home, not trucking nothing. You know what I mean? Look,
it's true.
You can't
the economy dictates everything.
I watched RVs go from $80,000 units. The next year they were 20. And there's nothing you can do about it when the people can't afford it. And you've got 600 hatchlings in your racks, and you're like, you want this one for $50? It happens. You got people are trying to undercut. I think people are more trying to evolve with how the economy is currently.
And be like, I'll take that. I could, see how far you can really go down.
and that's the thing that's the thing too. You have to, like, if you know where the market's at, and if you're sitting there producing 200 ball pythons and you're still sitting on 100 babies or whatever, this shit's not selling. Either A, you're doing something wrong, or two, freaking, you need to slow down your production.
Look who it is, one of the judges. Hey,
what's up, Steven?
What's up, Steven?
It's just saying.
Yeah, I know you're
an example. I don't have near that many.
I get that. Like I said, the market, it's not even the market. The market corrected itself. Let's be honest. Because everyone had free money and shit like that. So like, it's how you market yourself as a whole in general too. Like this. Are you making it pleasable for people to off of you? So when me and Will, I'm gonna tell you a story. So when me and Will first got into expos last year. Okay, we were talking about this. We started off in deli cups, and we had a shitty ass freaking table cover.
Didn't even have a tablecloth.
Yeah, a tablecloth or whatever. Okay? It looked like shit. We had some decent, single gene head stuff or whatever for a pretty decent price, but no one came over. Because why? Our setup fucking sucked. Let's just be honest with it. So then we sit there and we upgrade our tablecloth. You get the backdrop, you get the nice display case. Boom! Half my hatchlings gone. Because I'm presenting myself.
Presentation. Presentation is a big thing. Right. I mean,
And it also determines on how you carry yourself on social media. If you're gonna sit there, you're gonna have your Facebook and stuff like that. You're gonna dog people. You're gonna cause drama and stuff like that. People are not gonna want to support that. And they're not gonna want to buy off of you. It's simple. Stay away from that bullshit, guys. People be saying like, there's a lot of shit going on in Ohio stuff, as Sean knows, and stuff like that. And people are like, oh, did you hear this and this and that? Like, I don't give a damn or whatever what's fucking going on with them, because it has nothing to do with my business.
Right.
I stay off of that. It has nothing to do with me. If that's how that person conducts their business, that's how they want to do it, that's on them. That's their name, not my name. You know what I mean? Like, just because I'm there at an expo, like, yeah, I support that expo or whatever because it brings in a crowd or whatever, but I'm there to support myself, to sell my animals, my quality animals. That's it. You know? People don't realize that. It's like how you carry yourself on social media too reflects a lot.
You have to engage with people too. I sold a snake on Sunday at that Columbus show, all because I said something to the guy that was walking by. He wasn't even looking at my table. I said, "Hey, how you doing?" And it brought him over, and I ended up selling. It was a $40 snake, but it's still a sale.
Still a sale
because I took my time to say something to the guy that was walking by.
I mean, and talking like you got to treat people like they're buying a $5,000 snake,
right?
If it's a $40 snake or if it's a $5,000 snake, because potentially that could be a new breeder or someone new that's starting the hobby, which you need. I mean, it's. I feel that's how you should interact with everybody and everything, as much as you can anyway.
Right.
Yeah. But you can't be sitting down behind your table on your phone,
which is 75% of the people.
Right.
75% of the people.
That's why they ain't selling.
Exactly. They're not selling stuff. Exactly. Dead on. And there's another thing too. Like I might sit there. And I've done it, and I've seen it. I've sat there and I talked to someone on how to care for a snake and stuff like that, and all that, like what you need, husbandry, all this stuff. Right. And then they turn around and go buy a snake off someone else. That's fine, whatever. And then they'll freaking hit me up like, hey, I was talking to you or whatever. The breeder bailed on me. Like, I need this or I need information on this. I'll still help them. Yeah, that's the type of person I am.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So next time that you want to go buy a snake, you should probably maybe go buy it from me. I'm going to back my animals 100% customer service. As long as I'm alive and the animal's alive, if you got questions about it, if it's my snake that I produced, I'll be more happy to help you with that snake. Right. Unless it's a veterinarian thing where like it's internal, where I tell them I can't deal with that, but I can ease the symptoms on it. Mm-hmm. And that goes a long way too. I hate those breeders at those expos and stuff that will sell a freaking snake to mom and dad that has one freaking kid or whatever. It doesn't know kind of like really what they're doing. And when the shit hits the fan, they bail on it because, hey, it's not my problem. It is your problem, bro. You sold them a fucking snake or whatever. And you need to help them because they invested money into your business to help support you. And you can't give them the same discipline back or whatever if they have a question with that animal.
Right.
It pisses me off.
I watched.
That was my rant for the day.
I watched.
Everybody gets a business card. If they have questions, they got the
I watched Brock
card
at Tinley. Man, that guy was running on all cylinders, and that's how it should be.
It's how it should be.
That's what you want to be like.
Right.
Even at a little show, even if there's nobody there,
right?
That's how you want to be.
When we do our local shows, I've got these girls that come with us, and either she brings this 7-foot long, it's a leucistic rat snake. It's huge, and people come to the table. I just work in front of the table, and they come like take pictures.
That's marketing your table. That's absolutely
yeah. It's a great tactic. Get in front of the table, you kind of draw them into the table, and then they see this big snake out. It's kind of nice. I don't get them all the time, but they do like to come and hang out, and it helps a lot.
Oh yeah, it definitely helps. Even like the little kids and stuff. You have the little kids and stuff like that want to hold a snake. Like I let you hold a snake. I don't care. Like put some hands.
Do you bring a certain snake that's like
they can hold? Yes, they can. If I got a snake that's cheaper and stuff, they want to check it out, or maybe a little bit more expensive one or whatever. I really don't care because it's a kid, man.
Right.
Like that's going to be like if you want, if they like it because the colors and it's a $5. I don't care about the price, honestly. As long as they sit there and they hold it over the table, just in case they drop it, I'm cool with it. Right. I'm not that dickhead breeder or whatever. It's like, oh no, you can't. You're not going to buy it, so you can't. Like you're a little kid, man. Like I want to get them excited because as all of us know too, like me and Will seen it in Columbus and stuff. Like you got freaking kids that will go up there and like want to hold snakes or are interested in it, and the parents are like, no, or these grown ass dudes or whatever that are scared of these snakes. Will knows what I'm talking about. That are scared of these snakes and stuff. And the kids all buy it, but the parents are. It's like once they see it and they get the hands-on approach of it. If you can get it in their hands, they might buy it too. On top, you know what I mean? And I suppose all realistically.
That dude moved so fast. I thought he was going to leave his pants sitting there.
I did too. That dude was so freaking quick with those snakes, man. And I tell you what though, like if you do have a show, so I will also. And another tip I do for expos and stuff like me and Will set up. It takes us about an hour, 45 minutes to set up, and then we'll walk around. I'm going to go look at other people's snakes and their conditions, okay? If there are some snakes in there that are questionable and stuff that I don't like or whatever, one, I'm staying away from them. And two, when I come home or whatever, I might treating all my snakes.
Do you think
do that anyway?
Do you think that should be a whatchamacallit anyway? A protocol or something
sure.
anyway? 100%. No matter what?
100%. Yeah. But a lot of the expos I go to that me and Will go to is usually the same breeders. And we all have good collections and they're all taken care of. So I usually don't worry about it. Now it's the bigger shows that I go to. Where there's a fuck ton of people and stuff. And then I will come home and I would do that. But the smaller shows and stuff like that I go to monthly and that I know everybody and stuff, I usually don't do it.
Right.
But like I said, the big ones and stuff like that down in Columbus and stuff like that, I will do it because there are a lot of people you don't know what they have at home.
We also take the mite spray and spray the outer edge of the table.
We also do that too.
So, you better hope you're not next to a bug guy, man. They're gonna lose their mind if you spray your table.
Generally,
what I've done is,
you cut them and put them in a I know what you're gonna say. You cut them and put them in a
I put these in my truck, right in the Trailblazer, and I'll renew them like every 3 months, and I'll put like 4 or 5 or 6 of them in the back of the Trailblazer, and so when the animals get put into the car, they get an automatic dose of,
that's a good idea.
So I've got like a 2-hour ride home. They're getting treatment for a 2-hour ride. And then I get home, they get soaked in the Dawn. They get the mite treatment. And then they get put on paper towels for 3 to 5 days to make sure I'm not watching creepy crawlers on the paper towels.
Yep. You have to, man. You have to.
You have to.
Most of the shows we go to,
the first time, you don't ever want that shit again.
No.
I've already had to deal with that shit.
We already had to deal with that shit.
You had to deal with mites?
I had to deal with it when I first started. I was that guy that, oh, you're going to happen to me. You're going to happen to me. I bought a snake. I didn't quarantine it, and it happened to me. I was like,
I bought it from I have those. I bought it from a breeder. I bought the last bits of a breeder's adult females.
Yeah.
God did not bother to tell me that they were dehydrated and covered in mites.
Oh, dude, those were the worst snakes I've ever seen. And dude, they were crawling in mites, dude.
I wiped my hand.
Oh my god, those poor snakes, dude.
That's wild. Yeah,
dude, it was.
He runs an expo.
These things are absolutely amazing. I use reptile spray. I use the reptile spray.
Yep.
And then I use these things from Home Depot, and so I watched the video from I think the guy's he has all like the green tree pythons. I think it's GSP maybe.
Yeah.
And he gives a great video about this, that he cuts them and puts them in little deli cups.
Yep.
And then pokes a hole in them.
That's what Brandon does.
And he puts it in with the snake.
Yeah.
But that's what I got right here.
Yeah, that's what Sean was just showing us.
What?
What you were just talking about? That's what Sean was showing us.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. So, and then the rest of it that he kept, you could just freeze it and you could take them out.
And I use that for wipe down after shows and before shows.
Can you spray that on your snakes?
Yes.
For the bottle, it says you can use this every day. For the bottle.
Right.
Yeah, this is one of those females I got that was covered in mites.
It's always the light colored ones too.
Oh, that thing was
Well, I had dark
crawling.
ones
That
too.
thing was crawling with mice.
Yeah, but it's
Oh,
harder to
dark
find
one.
the dark ones.
I
Right.
had this
Right.
one, and then
This stuff was good too.
this girl.
That reptile spray.
Oh,
Yeah, I
the
use
reptile
that.
spray, yeah.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
we used.
Yeah.
Works pretty
And then there
good.
was this girl that was just completely covered.
Yeah.
Like she looked like she was a polka dot.
Right.
Oh, that was bad.
And within two and a half weeks, the mites were gone. She was back up to size, and then she gave me a clutch later that year.
Oh, would he disappear? So
What's that?
So when you use those the strips, because I'm in my basement, and so I have a bunch of dogs, so we leave our back door open, and I get a bunch of flies that come down in the summertime and all that stuff. That thing literally kills every insect in my basement.
Yep. I also do strips like this in between rows on my rack, and I offset them. Yeah,
I have.
I got
I still haven't took them down yet, but the fly catchers were only here for the mosquitoes and the gnats. It wasn't catching any flies. I haven't had to replace
What's up, James?
the fly
Yeah, I was
catcher
gonna
in
say-
months.
Yeah.
I have a Zevo, one of those light sticky traps. I have those in here, just
Yep.
because you get those fruit flies, and they would drive
Yep.
me nuts. And I got tired of having one hanging from the fly strip hanging from the ceiling because I'd hit it. I'm 6'1". My ceilings are only 8 foot,
Stuck
and they're
to your,
hanging. I
stuck
run
to your
into
hair
it.
and shit.
Yeah, not right now. They would.
That's the MC Will. That's the MC Will. Hey, James. I know you just popped in real quick. Hey, we just covered the LLC stuff earlier in the podcast and stuff. So rewind that. Probably do about 20 minutes and stuff when we talk about that. So instead of having to call me and stuff like that, you can just rewatch that. So that'll give you an idea, bud.
But yeah, so I put the Zevo in here, and I hardly see any flies, anything that ever. But
You keep
What
those
is
things.
it?
You keep those strips all year round.
I do.
Do you?
I do.
you just
I
said one.
hate mites. I don't ever want that nightmare experience ever again.
Now, can you
Never,
take that
ever.
strip once it's been like 3, 4, 5 months when they say to replace them,
Toss
and
it.
then spray it back
No.
down?
No, just
With,
get rid of it. Just get a new one,
Toss it.
dude.
Get a new one.
I
They're
don't.
like
I just
$7.
get new strips.
Yeah.
I know. I was just asking. I didn't know
Yeah.
if you could pour it in a jug and just rehydrate it. Because like when I used to hunt, that's what I used to do with the little the earth scent wafer discs.
Mhm.
You would just pour the earth scent spray in it, let them sit in it for like a week, and then they would be
Right.
reinfused with it. So
Oh, yeah.
I was just
Interesting,
curious.
but I don't know if Hot Shot's giving out their formula in the liquid form to refill.
Probably not. So
Right. It
I know
comes.
that-
Well,
it
I was
comes in a-
thinking that spray that you were using, just dump that out and set them in that.
Right.
It'd do
It,
it would do the same thing.
it comes in a plastic case, so then you open up the plastic case, and then you
Yeah.
snip you snip
Oh.
the thing. Yeah.
I have some. I
Okay,
use
all
it,
right.
I use them on those snakes
Yeah.
because I wanted them the mites gone because they were in my garage.
Right.
They didn't even come into my house.
Yeah.
And the tub they
What?
were in,
yeah,
I
well,
took
I'm
everything
using- I'm gonna
outside
start
and dumped
using
it
those.
out and burn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to start using those strips and stuff too.
Yeah, you can get them at Lowe's.
Can you?
Just
Or
read-
Ace.
Just
Ace.
read the
Depot.
warnings. All right. When
Right.
when
Don't read
Yeah,
them.
Paul's over there rubbing all over. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
flash
yeah.
strip.
you know it says it does say some stuff that you're like
Right.
maybe I should.
Yeah, hey.
So-
Well, she says not to leave it in the area for more than 4 hours.
Yeah, it does. Oops.
That's kind of a big deal.
Yeah. So
So,
Yeah.
but where do you get those little deli cups like that?
online.
Order them off Amazon.
Yeah.
2-ounce deli cups.
They're 2 ounce. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, and then you drill little holes in them, and the gases in here build up and
Hey,
slowly
hey,
release.
Make sure to taste test it to make sure that they're good too.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It looks like cheese. It makes a cheese sandwich.
It does. It does actually look
It
like
does
that.
look pretty cheesy.
Dude, Brandon brought me to that one expo. I'm like, is that fucking cheese in a cup? I'm like, what the fuck is like? When I first saw those, I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah,
that
he
shit
had
was
them at the
funny.
expo that you weren't at, that I went to,
Yeah.
the one in Toledo, and I was like, "What the fuck?" I thought maybe because at bars they have those little apple things that have
Oh
vinegar in
yeah.
them. I thought maybe that's what it was to keep the fruit flies down or
Right.
whatnot. And then I got to looking at them, I'm like, those look like those pest strips. And then like 2 months later, I finally asked him what they were, and that's what they were.
Hey, that's not okay. So here's a story. I never posted this on Facebook, but here's a story. So last month we're going to an expo and stuff, and I'm freaking sleeping in my Envoy and shit. And Will's driving my Envoy, and Will's like, I don't really want to drive anyhow or whatever. And all of a sudden, like we're driving, I hear, oh shit! And I'm fucking dead asleep, and I wake up and the car's going sideways, and we're going in a ditch. I'm like, like,
Well,
fuck that
first
shit.
it was going this way, and first it was going this way. And
Oh
then it
my
went
god!
back, and then we went into the ditch.
If you want to talk about waking up, that was a good way to wake up. But I was just starting to fall asleep, and I just hear, "Oh shit!"
I told you I didn't want to drive. It was your truck, so
God.
I told you I didn't want to drive.
Hey, I told you though. We'd look back at that, we would laugh, and here it is.
Yeah,
It sucked at the time. It absolutely sucked at the time.
I'm telling you, that line popped off, and that's why it went sideways on me because I wasn't even going fast.
I think you hit black eyes. Honestly, I think you hit black eyes.
I literally had just left a stop sign. I couldn't have been going more than 30 miles an hour.
Yeah, I think we hit black eyes, dude.
Something. Like,
As long as you just went in
Yeah,
the
we
ditch,
were
you were able to get
I
out.
was driving in the lane.
If we were in anything else, it would have totaled the car. If we were in a car, and it would have totaled our car.
Then I was looking this way, and then we were into a ditch. So.
Well, no, we didn't go in it. Like we went over the ditch. Like we was like in and out of the fucking ditch. Like and then like smoke was everywhere from the train. Like it was a disaster.
We still
It was
drove
like
it home.
5 o'clock in the morning. Like this is a great way to start our day.
You were able to keep driving.
I got under the hood, put the transmission line back in. He got a ride from one of the people across the street
we crashed in front of.
to get some transmission fluid. We got it all back in and went home. Well, he found out that it had a broken axle.
Had a broken axle. The wheel bearing was fucked on it. Like there was a lot, like the radiator. Like I was like, well, I'm glad we didn't freaking continue to go.
It actually drove better on the way home than it was when before I wrecked it.
Yeah, because it was straight now. We're not. Yeah, it was a great time. But we're going to the same expo tomorrow. That happened with fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. All right, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
This time we got to drive separate though, because I got to leave early.
We gotta drive separate anyhow because I got my own stuff too. Because I gotta go pick up the Envoy tomorrow. It just got fixed, so that got all done and stuff.
All right.
So
yeah,
You guys ever gonna
that was fun.
Come out to Missouri and do some shows out here, like St. Louis or Kansas
why,
City?
dude? Maybe when I'm bigger. When I'm bigger and shit, probably. But like right now, when I'm selling at expos and stuff, isn't worth my drive for that. Even like
You got gorillas.
Right.
Soon enough, they'll be at Tinley.
Not yet. Not yet. You don't.
One day. Not yet.
I think that's the same thing. Once I get going and stop building.
Yeah, like I'll furthermore out. I think like 2.5 hours right now, 3 hours is max for me for what I'm selling. At that point, it doesn't become worth my trip. You know what I mean? Right. I'd like to have at least 20 or 30 like banging steaks to make that trip. You know,
that's the awesome. That's what I find so awesome about having things other than ball pythons on your table, i.e., frozen rodents, shirts, hats, snakes, bedding for rodents, bedding for snakes.
That's why
Ever since I switched to that,
we're on a waiting list right now, Randy. I'm on a waiting list.
I was gonna say he's gonna have the bedding, and I'm gonna have the rack.
Yeah, that's how we decided to do it. Because I invested like a lot of money into the bedding to get that started, and then he was building that facility for the rats and stuff like that. So he's gonna control the rats in the area, and I'm gonna control the bedding in the area. I will have the best bedding, and he'll have fucking cheaper rats. Because like I said, the one pet store down here is freaking ridiculous.
I'm gonna have probably
all the pet stores are freaking ridiculous.
I'm gonna have probably close to 500 colonies.
Oh, he's gonna have a fuck ton. Like that expansion is nice. I wish I could do that just for myself because like the biggest problem for me this year was I did 8 clutches this year. The biggest problem for me was freaking food. Now it didn't help that
small food for the hatchlings,
right? For the hatchlings and stuff because I'm feeding all those foods for the hatchlings I'm producing, and then I don't got none for my breeders. So I'm rather buying food for the hatchlings than I am small rats or medium rats for the breeders. And I was just like, well, it didn't help that I was 3 racks short anyhow because they kept chewing out. So I just discontinued it, and Will's going to rebuild the other rack. So Will rebuilt my first one, and now I have no more chew outs and stuff. So that helped because those rat tubs are $200 for like 10 of them, 15 of them. They're ridiculous.
You got a question.
You could put a piece of untreated 2x4 wood in your tub, and they'll rather chew on that than on the tubs. It'll save you money in the long run. Bear taught me that one.
Yeah.
The tubs we use
And I
are,
put like different size paper towel rolls, the little cardboard deals. I throw them in there. The babies run through it. They chew on that. I haven't had a chew out in almost.
Yeah, I mean, you seem like a healthy guy, so you probably don't have cereal boxes laying around, but cereal boxes, anything.
Right. I'm going to answer this question.
I got plenty of cereal boxes.
they're pretty small.
And I'm going to answer this question real
Hey,
quick.
you
Does
look like a
any of you
healthy
know
guy.
anything about northern pine snakes and how to tame them down? And does it hurt to get bit? Because I've never been bit by one or any snake. It's like any snake. If you handle it more, it will tame down normally. I'm not familiar with that breed, so I don't know how they are. So I would just assume the more you handle it, the more you work with it, the tamer is going to get. Does it hurt to be bit by a snake? No, like you'll feel it, but I'd rather
Depends on which one you get bit by.
That's true.
I don't know. Sometimes, I think it's more of a reaction. So you get
Yeah, it's more that initial jump than it is anything.
scream like a girl.
It's only when you get bit and wrapped. That's when those ones hurt.
Yeah.
I have a almost 7-foot Burmese male that bit me the other day and wrapped around my arm. Did not hurt as bad as the little tiny male that I have up there that bit my damn finger. I about cried when he bit me. That shit hurt.
I would rather get bit by a snake than a rat any day.
Oh yeah.
I'll tell you that. 100%.
It seems like I get tagged in my fingers all the time.
Oh yeah, all the time.
Fucking.
Especially when you go in there and go spot clean and stuff, and they're feisty. Like, oh, you got me. Like,
yeah.
I get bit like that all the half. I'm 2 tubs down and realize I'm bleeding. Like, it's if you spend enough time with snakes, you're going to get bit.
You're gonna get bit. It's like, I think like once you get bit and you get over that, it's just like whatever. You know what I mean?
A northern pine snake looks to be like it is a colubrid, I think.
It's a colubrid. It's in the colubrids.
It looks like a variety of common names. It's a bull snake.
Depending on where you're at, they're like a northern, like Illinois, I think Indiana.
It says the northern pine snake is a large non-venomous snake with a variety of common names, including bull snake, black and white snake, pilot snake, horn snake. I mean, if it brings up the picture, it just looks like a.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It looks like a corn or a rat snake. So
yeah,
that shouldn't hurt too bad if you get bit by it.
No.
Even if it chews, it's not going to be that bad.
Right. Even if it chews your finger off, you're good.
I was going to say.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
get bit by that thing.
Yeah, years ago, I ended up getting like a California king snake, and this was like I remember like one night I was holding this thing, and the thing slowly just opened his mouth and swallowed my whole thumb.
Dang.
And then it sat there, and it wouldn't come off. So like I didn't know what to do. Like at that time, I'm like, what am I doing here? So I just put it underwater, and then it took a breath and came up.
Right, that's a good idea.
Listerine?
151 works.
So I mean, it was like when I was like 15, 16 years old.
Yeah,
so like I didn't know about that back then, and that's the only Listerine they had would be the yellow one.
Right.
poor guy dumping yellow Listerine on his face. So yeah, I just put it underwater and it eventually let go.
Right. All right. Well, I'm gonna cut this off because we're about the hour mark, and I just wanted to freaking bring back the podcast today. Paul, thank you for filling in on such a short notice.
Make sure everyone goes to snakesandthefatman.com.
Yep.
Go vote for
me. /15 minutes.
/15 minutes.
Don't forget the backslash.
Yeah.
Right. Don't forget to
have a good night.
You start typing it in, it automatically brings that one up. So.
I'm gonna get around for the chopping block on Will. Will's on the chopping block tonight with Billy's Patreon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm on
we're
there.
going
Bill.
out probably till late. We'll be going to the expo tomorrow. What time are we leaving? Will, like 6?
What time's it open?
I
know it starts at 10.
Starts at 8.
It starts at 10.
It starts at 10. But if you get there at 8 or whatever, if you get there when they first open and stuff, you get a good spot. I found that out.
So,
You guys vending it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. We
Yeah,
should
we
know
will.
this shit, right?
What was that?
So you should know this shit.
Well,
right?
it depends. So like I found out like with the expos and stuff. So like if they do setups from 8 to 10.
Okay.
If you even if it takes you 45 minutes or a half hour to set up, if you get there early enough or whatever, normally you get to kind of choose your spot, so you'll get a better spot. Unless they got like groups and stuff like that like are in designated spots.
Okay.
But like if you get there early enough and stuff, like you'll get a decent table. So like when I went to Cincy, like Will didn't get to go to that one, but when I was down in Cincy, I was like one of the first ones there and stuff. And he didn't really have a designated spot because it was my first time. He's like, here, just choose this spot right here. It was like, boom, it was like smack dab in the middle. I'm like, dude, I have an awesome spot. Like, let's go. But if you get there late, by the time you get there late, you're pretty much just getting the leftovers. You know what I mean? So it makes sense. It helps.
Right.
Everything. Oh, hello, Billy.
Hey.
what's up, Billy?
What's up, Billy? Thanks for
What's up,
tuning
Billy?
in, man. We were just getting ready to cut this short, actually. We're going to get ready and get something to eat and get ready for the chopping block here tonight.
I got to get something to eat because I'm getting chopped.
He's getting chopped up.
Getting chop block. All
So
right.
Gotta love it, though. Gotta love it.
Yeah.
So don't forget to chat in with Paul for 15 minutes of lame.
That's right.
Like I said, thanks for coming in and late notice, Paul. I appreciate it.
No problem, bud. Thanks. Anytime.
So we're gonna need to get Billy back on here to the channel. It's been a while. Billy, you need to come back on.
Yeah.
I try to get him on now. I try to have a
Driving-
special guest with
driving home.
Billy on here, but he
Drive
said
safely.
he was busy. I was like, dang it.
He said he's driving home.
Yeah, he said he was driving home and stuff. I was like, dang it. I was like, I tried. It was worth a shot. But so we're gonna start doing the podcast, you guys, probably about Fridays, maybe Saturdays when we get back from the expos, because me and Will do pound out the expos about every Saturday or Sunday.
Okay.
So we had to kind of move the podcast, and that's why we haven't been doing them.
I
Because
think we should go back to Saturday, though.
we probably should go back to Saturday. We'll shoot for Saturdays, probably after the show. So they'll probably be a little bit later now, probably around the 7 or 8 o'clock range, probably for another hour and a half. What we normally do is as much as I try to run them for. So, I think that's just a sweet time to do them. So I think because we did an expo every weekend from September 1st all the way to end of November.
Yeah, something like
We
that.
were at an expo every weekend from
Every
September to
weekend.
November.
And
that
some
was-
of them were Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, so we were doing 2-day shows as well, and I was still working factory.
Yep.
Will was still working on construction. I was still trying to do the YouTube, and the podcast kind of took a shitter on that one because we just didn't have time and we were so tired.
But that's like my YouTube. I just didn't have time. So
we just didn't have time for stuff. It's just how it is, you guys. You just can't do everything all at once. So we're gonna try bringing these podcasts back because it's been a while. So we went MIA for a little bit.
Now you're back.
Now we're back. I missed them. It's been a while. So thanks, guys, for everyone for tuning in.
Take care, guys.
We're out.
Peace out.